I kept my weight on the narrow edge where meadow meets the air without warning. Every step measured in silent tension. Not falling, not rising, just holding shape. A hinge of bone and borrowed patience. Balancing over what I never named. You said the ground would answer back, but ground is just a rumor we repeat. There is no promise in the distance, only structure drawn in fragile line. I learned to stand where strain is clearest, where breath turns sharp and clean. This is the ridge I chose to carry, a simple tide across my chest. Not pain, not pride, not broken thunder, just pressure bending into form. If I release it, I unravel. If I resist, I sharpen more. Hands open, not to surrender, but to feel the current in my skin. A quiet voltage in the marrow, tracing angles I don't confess. No anthem rising from the fracture, only resolve without a name. The climb was never loud or blazing, it moved in increments of doubt. Each doubt a rivet in the framework, each scarless mark a hidden grace. I did not run from what was forming, I let it press against my ribs. On this height there is no witness, no echo carving out applause, just windless space and tight muscle, a body locked in subtle war. Not with the world, not with the rival, but with the tremor under calm. I felt the slip before it happened, a slight misread and weight and will. The ridge does not forgive distraction, it teaches balance through demand. So I leaned further into danger and found the center in the strain. There is a grace inside resistance, not tender, not designed to soothe. It lives in edges drawn precisely in steel that hums but never sings, in bones aligned against the motion of everything that wants to bend. If I descend, I do it conscious, not dragged by fear, not pushed by pride. I step with measured calculation, a craft of breath and tightened jaw. No rescue waiting in the valley, no crowning grave for those who slip. The ridge is not a place of glory, it is a line I choose to walk. A narrow band of held intention, suspended over unnamed death. Each second forged in focused silence, each heartbeat steady, stripped of myth. I stand where tension turns electric, where doubt refines instead of breaks, where weight becomes a form of language and strain translates to sharp insight. No blaze of triumph, no collapse, just dancing breath and tempered spark. If there is victory, it's quiet, a pulse beneath the outer frame, a hinge that doesn't scream for motion, yet never rusts beneath the load. I keep my balance on this contour, a latch secured along the ridge, and when the pressure shifts again, I will not plead for softer ground. I will adjust the angle slightly, recalibrate the hidden brace, because the height was never gifted. It formed the moment I stood still, not frozen, centered, not reckless, awake, not falling, aligned on the latch of a narrow ridge. There was a number scratched in steel, not sacred, not assigned by fate, just 17 carved into weathered grain. A mark that didn't ask for witness, it stood without applause or mercy, a coordinated restless ground. I didn't choose it for its meaning, meaning stains what should stay bare. I chose it for the way it fell, a dry plateau beneath the ribs, a surface where the air grows thin but never breaks into collapse. to flee, but to test the tensile center where doubt refines instead of spreads. No drama swelling in the distance, only pressure made precise. The ground did not reward my balance, it simply stayed and let me stand. No hidden rise beneath my effort, no sudden drop to prove a point. The more remained indifferent, a plane that answers with restraint. I felt the old reflex ignite, the urge to force, to overreach, to prove I could outrun the number, outpace the limit it implied. But force fractures its own intention, and haste unthreads the strongest brace. So I reduced the motion slowly, cut the excess from my stride, trimmed the gesture down to function, left no ornament in the air. Each step a study in subtraction, each breath a narrowed arc of focus. 17 became a mirror, not reflecting who I was, but showing weight without distortion, showing posture under strain. No myth of testing yet attached, just angle, stance, and quiet force. There is a strength in unadorned ground and fields that offer nothing back. You learn to anchor without witness, to move without the need for flame, to stand without the word for standing, to act without declaring war. I stayed until the light thinned out, until the cold bit through the frame. Not dramatic, not romantic, just data etched in living bone. A record of endurance drawn across a muted stretch of land. The number did not shift or shimmer, it did not bloom into a sign. It stayed what it was at the start, a mark resisting metaphor. And that refusal felt like shelter, a structure free of borrowed weight. When I finally crossed its border, there was no anthem in my wake, no crowd to stamp the moment valid, no surge of triumph in the chest, just steadier alignment and breath that carried further than before. If I return, it won't be haunted, not chasing ghosts of former strain. I'll stand again where count meets surface, where edge dissolves into restraint. Because the strength was never gifted, it formed in still and measured ground. 17, a point of entry, not to glory, not to fall, but to a narrower precision, where motion cuts without excess, where stance becomes its own conviction. On the open stretch of Moor 17. I reached the upper curve alone, no anthem waiting at the height, no flag pressed into borrowed soil, just air stretched thin across my face. A narrow summit drawn in bone and pressure settling in my stance. The climb was carved in increments, measured steps without display, no sudden surge to crown the effort, no rescue rope from lowered hands. Each meter earned in quiet focus, each breath refined to sharpen will. At the crest, the ground turns minimal, stripped of excess, stripped of claim. There is no shelter in exposure, no story handed down for free, only posture tested under gravity, only balance has to prove itself. I felt the weight align with marrow, not his burden, not his grace, but as a fact that would not bend to constant pressing at the ribs, demanding clarity of motion, demanding angels free of waste. Nothing shouts from such a height, no glare of triumph floods the eyes. The horizon does not celebrate, it simply widens without care and leaves you standing at the center of everything you chose to face. I did not come to conquer air, nor to measure worth in altitude. I came to see what shape I take when stripped of cover and excuse, when every step is self-accounted, when posture cannot hide its flaws. There were moments near the summit where doubt crept close with careful feet. Not loud, not sharp, not catastrophic, just subtle friction in the joints. A whisper of fatigue in muscle, a tremor under tightened jaw. I studied it without surrender, reduced it to its core mechanics, adjusted stance and redistributed weight, cut surplus motion from my stride, replace reaction with precision, and let the tension educate. Up here restraint becomes an engine, not decorative, not polite, a discipline that carves intention into the frame of every move. No wasted gesture, no indulgence, only craft refined by strain. The crest reveals no hidden treasure, it offers nothing but exposure, yet that exposure is the lesson. A mirror without distortion, a surface where the truth of balance is written only in your stance. I leaned into the open distance, not to leap, not to retreat, but to test the tensile limit of nerve aligned with sharpened thought, to see how far the body holds when comfort has been cut away. There is a certain clarity here, not soft, not tender, not forgiving, a clarity that strips illusion from the bones of former doubt and leaves us structured, bare and honest, unshielded by applause or fear. The summit does not ask for worship, it asks for steadiness, afraid for breath control without display, for vision fixed without obsession, for courage shaped as repetition, not spectacle. I stood and left the silence of altitude, pressed clean against the surface of my mind. No noise, no blaze, no grand collapse, just the steady hum of existence, tightened to a single point of focus at the edge of cultivated strength. From here the descent looks simple, but gravity is never casual. It waits with patient calculation to test the discipline you built. One careless shift, one reckless impulse, and footing turns to sliding dust. So I remain deliberate, not frozen, not afraid to move. Each step placed with chosen rhythm, each muscle tuned to subtle change, carrying the summit in my posture, even as the slope begins. Because the crest is not a place, it is a calibration, a measured point where force and will align without exaggeration, where ego thins to useful contour and stance replaces spectacle. I will not chase another peak for vanity or borrowed myth. If I climb again, it will be to refine what I have learned, to narrow motion into mastery, to carve precision into bone. The height was never about distance, it was about alignment under strain, about the way the spine responds when stripped of distraction, about the choice to stay composed when air grows thin and unforgiving. Crest, not glory, not conquest, not release, but the point where I become exact. The cut was not violent, it was deliberate, a clean subtraction of excess, a surface reduced to necessity, where motion no longer wandered and structure replaced momentum. I found the scene without spectacle, no fracture spreading in sparks, just a narrow decision line, drawn steady across the frame, separating impulse from design, without anger, without collapse. The plane beneath my stance did not tilt to accommodate, it stayed level, indifferent, demanding balance without sympathy. Every misstep translated Cut the surplus motion, reduced amplitude and glare. Let the shoulders settle lower, let the spine recalibrate. Each adjustment quiet but exact. A plane offered no drama, no sudden drop for narrative. Just resistance steady as bone, testing angels without emotion. Teaching precision through repetition, teaching restraint through demand. There's a power in reduction, in dividing what clutters the frame. Not rage, not spectacle, just measured separation. Where excess falls away unnoticed and posture grows more exact. I severed not to escape, but to refine. Not to abandon, but to align. Every step afterward felt narrower, not confined, but focused. A corridor cut through distraction, where movement sharpened naturally, where balance ceased to argue and simply held. The surface remained neutral, yet within that neutrality I sensed a heart and center forming, a geometry beneath instinct, a quiet architecture built from corrected strain. No blaze of finality, no grand declaration, just the subtle shift from reaction to intention, from scattered force to coherent drive. The division clarified direction, not outward but inward through discipline. A recalculated axis that refused exaggeration and rejected excess display. Sever plane, not a battlefield, not a collapse, but a method. A surface cut clean, a stance corrected, a structure intact with ornament. When I moved again, it was with narrower intent, with less wasted motion, with quieter strength, because what was removed was never essential. The cut remains invisible, but the alignment persists, carrying muscle memory and tempered breath in every measured step across a level plane. I never said the name out loud. It felt too sharp against my teeth, like something carved from colder metal, not meant for careless use. I kept it folded in my chest, where quiet pressure learns to stay. Darex, not a hero, not a curse, just a word that held its shape when mine began to slip. There were nights I almost bent, almost straight a spine for ease, almost let the edges soften into something easier to hold, but A private calibration in the middle of a stormless night. No flames rose from the floor, no thunder split the air. Just my pulse unbroken, just my breath aligned. Just the choice to remain upright when no one would have blamed me. It isn't a battle cry, it isn't carved in stone. It's softer than a headline, sharper than regret. A quiet hinge of courage that doesn't ask to be admired. I carry it without display. Let it settle in the bones when the pressure shifts again. When the old reflex returns, when giving in feels easier than standing through the ache. Darex doesn't promise glory, it promises precision. A way of moving carefully without losing ground. A way of staying open without dissolving. If I whisper it tonight, it won't echo back. It will simply rest like a weight I chose to hold. Not because it's heavy, but because it fits. And maybe that is strength. Not loud, not bright, not breaking anything. Just staying when it would be simpler to fall. No summit carved in spectacle, no flare stitched into the horizon. Just a narrowed arc of ascent, where muscle meets deliberate control, where movement is stripped of excess and focus hardens into craft. I did not chase altitude for display, I chased alignment at its peak. The moment where incision overtakes impulse, when speed bows to calibrated force, when the body learns restraint without surrendering its edge. At the throne waited at the height. No velvet lining for the climb. Just don't draw tight at the margin. A ledge shaped by accumulated strain, where posture alone decided if balance would endure. Crown was never metal or gold. It was a ring of narrowed focus, a perimeter cut around distraction, a boundary carved in breath, where ambition thin to craft and craft refuse spectacle. I reached that outer limb, not to conquer what was below, but to measure how much weight my stance could truly hold, without tremor, without borrowed certainty. The ledge did not widen for comfort, it offered only exact proportion, a platform no larger than intention, a margin between rise and fall, where each adjustment mattered more than volume ever could. Cast is not throwaway motion, it is the molding of force, poured carefully into structure, set before it cools, giving contour before it hardens into something permanent. I felt the form settling inside shoulder and spine, a frame poured from repetition, layered through earlier strain, not forged in flame, but shaped in steady pressure. There were moments when doubt pressed, not loud enough to fracture, but sharp enough to test alignment. A subtle drift in the knees, a misjudged transfer of weight, a fraction off center. Correction came through patience, through listened attention, through narrowing excess movement, until balance returned precise, until the ledge felt stable. Not because it softened, but because I adjusted. No anthem rose from the edge, no chorus crowned the stance, just breath controlled and deliberate, just gravity acknowledged and met, without fear, without arrogance. The height did not define me, it revealed calibration, the way muscle responds when the margin grows thin, the way will condenses when options narrow. Crown is restraint at its limit, cast is intention made solid, ledge is the boundary of control. 3 terms, 1 structure. I did not seek applause, I sought refinement, a smaller circle of certainty within a larger field of risk, a cleaner edge of movement within a wider horizon. Every second on that margin, tighten the internal brace, not rigid, not brittle, but tempered through repeated correction. If I step away, the structure remains not in the stone, but in the posture, not in the height, but in the discipline carried forward. There is no glory on the ledge, only exposure, and exposure strips success, until only function survives, until stance becomes language, and language becomes exact. Crown cast ledge, not conquest, not collapse, but precision at the brink. The field was wide but nothing yielded, no banners, no convenient rise, just flat restraint beneath my steps, a muted stretch of hardened earth, where tension moved without display and distance felt deliberately exact. I didn't come for open comfort, I came to test a sharpened edge, to see what holds when motion slows, when every stride is packed to core, when breath becomes a measured line, and posture answers only weight. The more refuse to dramatize, it stays like structure taking form. The Moor did not respond with favor. It did not shift beneath my will. It held its plane without reaction, a surface stripped of sentiments. And in that refusal I found clarity, a measure uninflated by desire. Tension is not always thunder, sometimes it hums beneath the ribs, allowing constant tightening, refining how the body moves, teaching balance without applause, teaching control without reward, each step across that narrow field. Carved discipline into the spine, not etched in fire, not sung in praise, but written in repetition, in the quiet correction of missteps, in angles subtly realigned. I cut away what didn't serve. Excess pain, excess display, left only the essential arc of motion, held against the windless air, no drama trailing from my shadow. There is a strength in muted ground, in places that refuse spectacle. They force the will to stand alone without distortion or excuse, to build a frame from measured effort instead of borrowed narrative. At the center of the Moor, I felt the tension settle deeper. Not sharp enough to wound, not soft enough to ignore, just steady pressure in the core, demanding focus without mercy. This is not battle, not conquest, not collapse, it is refinement. A cut drawn through distraction, a seam that narrows thought to purpose, a boundary that filters motion until only precision remains, and what survives is not louder, only cleaner. The field did not end in triumph, it stretched beyond my line of sight, but I no longer needed distance to validate the shape I took. The work was in the calibration, in the quiet tightening of form. When I finally turned away, the Moor remained unchanged, no imprint glowing in the soul. No sign left for the next arrival, only the structure I carried forward inside my disciplined stride. Tense, cut, more.